Cool. Yeah, it's good.
Wow.
It's good. I stay up till 11 on like my video game nights with my buds when we hang out.
My buddies ask me to play video games, and I'm like, if it's past 8:30, I'm not getting off.
I think I went to bed at 2 last night. I think that's when I went to bed too.
Wow. I cannot remember.
That's
the
more
last
typical
time.
for college. Like that's
It
not-
is. It is.
I wasn't doing
yeah.
anything productive at 2. I was playing GTA at 2, but like,
Well, that's cool.
I went to bed at 2.
So you must be stoked about 6 coming out.
There was a leak about
I
it.
heard that. Yeah. I hate what I do in GTA, but I also like doing it.
I've only had it for like 3 weeks because, so apparently if someone, so my boyfriend has a PlayStation and he has GTA, like he bought it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he logged into his account on my PlayStation, so all I had to do was download GTA, so I got GTA for free.
Cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that was
Oh, you're
a
on
thing.
PlayStation?
Yeah.
You got a 5?
4.
4? Yeah, I mean, like 5 was so hard to get at some point. Are you on PS?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm an Xbox guy.
Yeah, Xbox
Interesting.
guy. Cool. I used to be for a long time, and then I made the switch for some game, maybe The Last of Us or something like that.
I don't play games that are specific to one console anyway, so it doesn't.
What do you play? What do you play?
The game I play the most right now is Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, I played some of that. Yeah.
I love that game.
I hope they've evolved it significantly. It was fun for a while. For me, like I played it right when it came out, and it was kind of like
Oh, it's so
needed
fun.
more depth.
It's so fun.
Maybe they've added that.
I also
played-
just
yeah.
love Star Wars, so.
Oh yeah. I pretty much only play From Software games like Dark Souls. Like right now, Elden Ring. I've been playing that since it came out at the end of February. Like too much.
Apex person myself.
You're what?
I'm an Apex person myself.
Oh really?
I used to play Apex and I just got way too sweaty, and I just don't play. I don't play enough to be good, and so people just destroy me every time. It's just not.
Oh,
You
sure.
gotta be really good.
Yeah, it's-
There's cheaters like all over too. Games like that. What was the other one? You had like Mercy, was the healer, she had wings. Overwatch?
Yeah, I never played
Yeah.
that. My brother played that one. I never played that one.
I play solo games because I'm too forgiving with other people.
Yeah, don't talk to other people. I
Nice.
play some Rocket League with my buddies because I love Rocket League. I'm like, sure, I'll play. And I'm basically a cone.
Yeah.
But
That's what I feel like in Rocket League.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suck at it. Okay, I gotta pee, so enjoy some more time before.
people are so toxic in Rocket League. It's brutal. It's so bad.
I've only ever watched Rocket League. I've never played it.
It's so hard.
It's hard. It's really hard.
My friends are so good. And I'm like, why am I here? I'm just here to talk
Hey,
to you
you're
guys.
more-
That's really all I'm here for.
They needed another guy, Kyle, another body.
They don't even need me. They can play twos.
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, damn it.
I'm just here for comedic relief. Is really all I'm there for. Oh, I missed again. Don't worry, guys.
Hey, don't worry. I didn't score. It's fine.
I do somehow average 1.2 goals a game. I'm not sure how that happens, but
That's pretty good. Accidentally.
oh yeah, it just rolls in front of the goal and I just happen
That's why I'm
to
here.
not miss.
Happened to not miss.
Oh yeah, if I was good, I could score a lot. There's a lot of opportunities where I'm like, oh, I probably should have scored that. And that one.
No, well, this game could have been over. Oops, my bad, guys.
It's okay. I don't play video games to be good anymore. I don't have the time to be good at them.
Same. I just like to play GTA because I can be a menace to society and not be frowned upon for it.
Just lean in there.
I like to play GTA because I can be a menace to society and not be frowned upon
Oh,
for it.
absolutely. There's nothing. Yeah. The one thing I wish they had is they had it in Far Cry. Like I loved Far Cry too. Is wingsuits. They need wingsuits and mountain bikes.
Do some damage with a wingsuit.
Yeah. Oh man, that was the best.
There's wingsuits and Lego Star Wars.
Are there?
So true.
Also love Lego Star Wars.
I've never played a Legos game.
Any
Oh,
Lego
it's
game?
so
Oh my
good.
god. I
It's
love
so
Lego.
good.
Really?
Yeah.
Never
It's
played a Lego
incredible.
game.
It is so good.
All right, all right.
They're underrated. I
I grew up with the original Lego Star Wars, so it's very nostalgic for me to play the newer one too. And I still have a lot to go. I need to get to episode 3, and I've barely made it through part of episode 1. So it's just, I'll be there sometime next year.
You'll get there when you get there.
What chapter are we in? It's the same chapter, 3, that sounds right. And I don't know what homework this is, 4?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Homework X plus 1. 3, these are not in order, I'm pretty sure that's obvious. Because I just kept going back, I kept editing this list, I was like, no, I take some out and then put ones in, work them through. So for next Wednesday, how about we start this earlier? And we can, yeah. And then we can have like lots of questions answered on Monday and nobody will be stressed on Tuesday or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll actually do some this weekend.
Yeah, I was
Last week.
possibly talking.
I'll be a functional.
I'll
I'll be.
Oh, it's okay, I'm good. I grew up in a very blunt family, so we don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
we don't
great.
have to talk around anything.
Great. Kyle, start your homework earlier, please. Thank you.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, otherwise it's like this kind of passive aggressive.
Yeah, don't be
thing,
right. I tell people that all the time. Don't be passive aggressive. That's bullshit. Just say
Tell me
it.
how you feel.
Just say it. I don't care. I'm not gonna get offended. Just say it.
I don't like confrontation. I'm
Yeah,
strictly passive aggressive.
I'm perfectly content.
But it creates confrontation, right? And it's nebulous the confrontation that makes some people who aren't even in it feel weird, I think. Passive aggression. I do it too, but it's not
I
good.
think it creates more stress.
I agree.
Because you're speaking around an issue as opposed to actually getting.
100% agree. I think honesty in the end just works better for everybody, even if like right off the bat it's blunt, but like a bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll start it tomorrow.
Whoa.
That's.
You might actually start it today because we might start it today.
Oh, well, if we start it
So-
today, then maybe, but I have a game tonight, so tonight is.
Well, I mean, we're started in class.
Yeah, I know. But
So
tonight.
we have the last homework for me, homework 3.
I'm not ready to turn it in yet.
Okay.
How do you feel about the end of the day?
Can you just, yeah, that's great.
Okay.
I
That's
don't own a stapler, so they just kind of folded the corner.
I own 2, so I've got you covered. I stole them from IBM when I worked there. They're hardcore, they're like murder weapon style, like GTA, you would grab this and use it the whole game. +5, +5. Shit, okay, so, yeah, new homework, we'll hopefully start on this today if I don't have to take any more breaks here. So we're talking about subgroups. Let's see what we remember, see if we remember a few things. Continuing to talk about subgroups, and today, we're gonna look at some special subgroups that we'll refer to a lot in the class. Cool, so first one, G is gonna be a group, duh, so always. If A is an element of G, what is this? We talked about that, but I like to ask these questions so that it helps us remember and then reinstantiate the knowledge, solidify the knowledge. What is that? Sit down. I see Cybert sitting down all the time. I need to sit down more.
He teaches this class is sitting down.
Yeah, he
Yep.
does.
Does he?
Yeah.
He just sits on his little iPad. Does class.
Cool. Patnat doesn't do that though.
Oh, no, she moves.
She's
No,
moving.
she moves.
She moves. Yeah, she's all over.
Is this the cyclic subgroup?
Keep going.
The
Yeah.
cyclic subgroup generated by A?
That is exactly it. What does that mean? So that's a great first start. What is that?
look, I can't read my handwriting.
This is good. This will give you a chance to translate your own work.
It's like beta, the M.
Good. I like this.
Um,
Yeah. Where's that? What's M?
M is an integer?
Yep. Beautiful. It's all the powers of A. Using the group operation. So if the group is additive, this would actually be A plus itself M times. If it's multiplication, it's A times itself M times. So be careful with that, and we're gonna actually practice a little bit today. So great. So let's take a group G that is Q under addition. So the rationals under addition. I think that's where I wanted to go. Yeah. What is this? Is it gonna be power? It's like, we could put this here, because that, but we have to be careful. We have an additive group. So for example, what would this actually mean? Sorry. What does that mean in this group?
Is it 1/2 times 3?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. Exactly. So, yeah, nice. So it's 1/2 times 3, so it's 3/2. So this, instead of putting the power up here, I can just put times k here. K is an integer. What does this look like then? Say it in words. I mean, you might not be quite sure what I'm looking for there. What points on the real line would it be? 0. It's 1/2, got that in there, right? What else is in this set? 1, yeah, 2 times, right? So 1. We know 3/2 is in there. Just say it in words. What's a nice say? Is 0 in there? Yep, because k could be 0. Is negative 1/2 in there? Yep. So all multiples of 1/2, right? All integral multiples of 1/2. That's it. It's just this collection of points. So just all integer multiples of 1/2. Let's try a different one. What if I say G star is the rationals star? So this is the rationals without 0. So this is Q minus 0. And that makes multiplication nice, because then we're not dividing by 0, or we don't have to worry about an inverse for 0 or anything like that. So this is just standard multiplication. What is this group? Subgroup, excuse me. What is that signaling symbol? we adding, multiplying? Yeah, multiplying, so we actually have powers then, right? It's gonna be 8 integers. What's that set look like? Trinity, you got any ideas on this?
If we're looking at just the positive side, everything's gonna fall between being at 1 and getting closer to 0.
So like, when m equals 1, I've got
1/2.
1/2.
1/4.
Yeah, so this is the m equals 1, and a quarter. This is m equals 2, yeah. And then an eighth. And we've got Zeno's paradox, right? Where I'm getting closer and closer, but never getting there. What are we, I'm not sure I agree that it's completely between 0 and 1, then this would be m equals 0.
Yeah. If it's just the positive side.
If it's just, we got.
Yeah, but if
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
negative,
exactly.
It's,
So what's that gonna do?
it's gonna be, it goes -1/2, it starts at -1/2. Or no, sorry,
2, yeah.
yeah.
So then we start expanding out this way,
Sorry.
so that's okay, no, it's all good, this is like wake up games, right? We're just getting fresh here, so let's see, so that's 0 to 1, so 2 maybe like that. So we got 2, what's the next one? 4, beautiful. I don't have the scale for that. So we've got all these multiples of half, and it looks like this. And we don't actually ever hit that negative side. Cool. Good, good, good. And these are subgroups. So this thing is automatically a subgroup. Let me just give you a little quick proof as to why. So we've been saying it, but claim if A is a group, and we can work together on this because I do want to practice these subgroup tests. Then A is a subgroup of G. How do I show something's a subgroup? Let's put a Yeah, there you go. There's a man who's knows how to read his notes real good, so I like it. That works. The two-step's nice and direct. Let's go with the two-step, right? The one step is just the two-step with a lie as a title. Okay, so let's use the two-step subgroup test. What do I have to do? Kyle can read.
Identify the defining property.
Cool, yeah, I did identify the defining property. So what is the defining property to be in this? So let's see here, X is an element of A if and only if what?
This is the nth power of some element.
Beautiful, yeah, it's just some power of A. Perfect, thank you. Yeah, it's right there, right? Yeah, it's just right there. If X is equal to A to the M for some integer M. Thank you, Kyle. It's been up for a long time. This man's awake.
Oh, yeah.
That makes one of us.
Yes, it All right. So, what else? So we got the defining property P. What do I do with that for the two-step? What are the two steps that I really need to show? So need to show. Just give me some words.
What?
Well,
Sorry.
go, please speak.
No, I'm looking at the wrong. I'm on the one-step one.
That's okay, that's cool, yeah, so move to the two-step, which came after, stupidly.
Did
Yeah.
conditional one.
They're simple. They're actually like group properties. They're things you need for a group, but
A, B, or H, DPs.
closure. Yes, closure. Is that what you said? Yes. Beautiful. So closure, and then there's one other thing, inverses. So we got closure, multiply two things together, get something back in the group. Everything has an inverse. Awesome. So let's address closure. Let's take X and Y from the cyclic subgroup. So that means X is A to the M, Y is A to the N for some integers. They might be the same, they might be different, but we have to allow that possibility. Cool. Help me out here. So X times Y is what? Beautiful, and that is? Beautiful, we got exponents, we can add them. Why is that in the group, in the subgroup? Or the set? I don't know it's a subgroup yet.
Integers are clustered under addition.
That's so damn good, Kyle. Yeah. So, yes, thank you. So, this is an element of A because M plus N is an integer as well. Solid. All right, so next, inverses. So I'm going to take an A in this, no, let's use X, because that's a little, yeah, that would be good. So X is equal to A to the M for some M. What's its inverse? Let Kyle take a break for a second here. He's done a lot of heavy lifting for us. Despite his shredded feet, he can somehow still do it. So, what is X inverse going to be? What's the identity in this group? No, not the boom.
Wrong.
What is it? I've got an idea.
Okay.
It is E. What is E in this group? What is a multiplicative inverse?
One?
Thank you. Yep. So what do I need to multiply by A to the M to get 1? We kind of did this on last homework, right? This is a little bit like it. It's kind of like that thing you and I were talking about. What's that, Trent? Solid, that's it. And negative M is an integer, because M is an integer. And so this is an element of A, because negative M is an integer. This time I'll write it out. So by the two-step subgroup test, this is a subgroup of G, whatever G is. I don't even know what G is. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to go back. Sydney, you were probably more right when you just said E. I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to say that you actually called that and that I was wrong by forcing the 1 upon you. Because we don't know what G is. So A to the 0 is just really E, because this could be like the dihedral group. And the A could be like a rotation of some kind. And so I like your answer the best, so thank you. Yeah, beautiful. But we still do know that if I have A to the M times some X equals E. And Kyle, let me show you what I was trying to get at with the first tip I was giving you. So if I know this, and I want to solve for X, I'm not sure which route you went, on this.
I did the powers one.
That's great.
Yeah.
Solid too. But check this out. I can multiply the left side by a to the minus m. And that's that was the thing I was trying to talk you through. And so this is just ex equals a to the negative m. But you could also summon the thing that we did in class, and that was great. Basically, this is a proof of it. Okay. I won't say that was the smoothest in the world.
Yeah, I got done.
It got done.
That's what I like to hear.
That's all we give a shit about. So, let's try another. Let me push this idea just a little bit. Given group G, and two elements, A and B and G, define a cyclic subgroup generated by A and B to be all powers of A times all powers of B, where those powers are integers. So it's the same, but now the things get a little more advanced. And you could extend this. In general, you could do A1, A2, A3 up to A sub n. And then that would just be all the powers of these various critters. These are all integers up here. So this idea extends. So let's go back to a place that feels a little homier. Let's go back to Z, good old Z, good old integers. This is our group. Be nice and happy, and everything you know is you've known for a long time. I want to ask, what about this group? So what is 814 in this group? What is our operation if this is my group? Addition, because we got that 0 in there and that's our identity. So here we use addition, standard addition, and our identity is 0, and now we pretty much own that group. So what is this going to look like? Is this how Dr. Seibert gets around to just kind of like walking like this? Or not?
doesn't move.
He doesn't move.
He's stationary. Once that man sits down, the only thing that gets him up is if he has to like put a graph on the board.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's
Got it. Like hand draw a graph or something.
or like use GeoGebra or something.
Oh,
Other
no,
than
he
that,
doesn't hand draw.
oh no,
No.
you don't want him to hand draw.
Oh, he's probably a pretty good hand drawer, I think.
Well, I've seen some good ones, but
I've seen-
the preponderance of what he does is
What did you just say?
not hand drawn.
Preponderance. You ever heard that preponderance of the evidence? Like in court, they use that.
No.
I am an English major.
Are you
Wait,
really?
no? Oh, it's like, wait, you too?
It's like what are you doing here?
Just means like majority.
Oh,
Over, yeah,
okay.
most of it.
Learn something new every day.
It's a beautiful way to say most.
Thanks, Kyle.
I took AP Lang, that's my claim to fame.
Stuck with it. Kyle's been answering a preponderance of the questions this morning. Yes.
Kyle's been awake for a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
It speaks to getting up nice and early. It's up 2 in the morning. Shit, you didn't even get a full night's sleep. You're up till
No,
2.
I'm running on 6 hours right now.
That's how it usually goes.
I'm chilling.
I started, I'm really into nootropics. Just like kind of brain, these brain elements, brain food. And I started taking this stuff. Tyrosine. And it's supposed to be really good if you didn't get enough sleep. I take it like with my coffee in the morning, 500 milligrams of that. And it's the stuff that's in like turkey. It's not tryptophan. It's another thing. It's like turkey and eggs and stuff.
I usually just take a nap or two throughout the day to get myself through it.
I can't nap.
I just suck it up.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Let's suck it up now.
Damn.
What's this?
Oh, whatever. I got distracted.
Don't make me dance.
Please don't.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. That's not a good thing. What is this going to look like? So we're in an additive group. This looks very multiplicative, so can we at least convert it? So, I mean, if we would have this if we were multiplicative, but we're not, so. So this will mean M8 added to itself M times. This is 14 added to itself N times, and that is actually a plus. So what do I mean here?
8M plus 14M.
Thank you. I'm all good with I will sit in awkward silence. No problem. So, what does that look like? Sounds horrible in a way, right? I mean, we have to kind of like look at all the multiples of 8, all the multiples of 14, and think of how their combinations work out. So let me write something here just a little bit suggestive. I hope that's suggestive of something you've seen a number of times in our class since the very beginning. Does that hearken to anything? And I picked this letter to be suggestive. God, I don't want to have to add that letter. We're gonna play Hangman again?
Give me a second.
That was Monday then.
Oh. Oh, the GCD?
Doesn't that look like the GCD linear equation?
Oh, I guess.
So, I'm pretty sure I said this is a very important result, so let's talk about it again. If it's so damn important, I guess I can talk about it again. But I would say D is the GCD of two integers. Let's use K and L. If and only if D is equal to some multiple of K plus some multiple of L. Integers S and T. Does that, remember that? Yeah, okay, cool, great. That I would have been terrified otherwise. So, that means this combination here, we can find an M and an N that makes this sum equal to the GCD of those two things. Think about that. If I gave you this, look it up there, we can find an M and an N such that this linear combination is equal to the GCD. What is the GCD of these two? I think we need some L-tyrosine. Bring a bunch and just mist it into the room on Monday. What's the GCD?
Oh. I got 0 peripheral time.
So I can find an M and an N.
2 and -1.
2 and 2 and -1 works.
Damn, Kyle.
Fucking great. Thank you. Yes. Right? So maybe M equals 2, N equals 1. You really are on fire today, Kyle. So that's awesome.
Got a good night's sleep, got an extra half hour.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Extra half hour to do it every time.
So that means I can get this thing down to a 2. So a 2 is in here. Is there a 4 in there? Yeah, why? Yes, Kyle, why? You're right. So if I can get a 2 in here, how do I know I can get a 4 in here?
Force multiple too, so just manipulate them and then get it over.
Double them,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, so once I've got m equals 2 and n equals 1, if I double those, I'll get a 4 out of it. Right, let's just see, let's just sanity check that.
32, 28, yeah.
And what else do I have in here? Using the same kind of reasoning.
Can't you just have all the multiples of 2 in there?
Yes. Thank you. Sydney,
Hell yeah.
Sydney. What else is it? Is there a 0 in here?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
absolutely, right?
Just
Or I can
straight
just take 0 times that shit, right? Is there a -2 in here?
Personally,
Yeah,
I don't
just
see why not.
negate the original 2 and -1, right? Or multiply this whole combination by -1. And so I've got -4, blah, blah, blah. So this subgroup is actually the same as this good old nice single multiples of 2. Because 2 is the GCD of those two things. Is that making sense? It's kind of crazy.
Oh, interesting.
It's neat, isn't it? It's like, wow, that's so much better than this. And it's really powerful. So let me ask you another question then. What is, let me see, which one was this? This is actually the problem.
9 and 15 equal to 6 subgroup.
Ooh, you wanna try one? You got one? Okay, cool. So what is 9 and what was it, 15?
Yeah. That should be equal to a single subgroup of 3 then.
That should equal 3. And let's see if we can get 3 out of that. So 9m plus 15. And can we get that equal to, well, of course, we know we can get it equal to 3. Yeah, 2 and, what was it, 2?
Yeah, the -1.
Oh, beautiful, yeah. Nice. So that's 3. What about, and this is what I actually thought you said. What's that? Yeah, what's the cyclic subgroup generated by 1? Yeah, beautiful. Yes, it's just actually Z.
Oh.
So it's not a proper subgroup, it actually ends up blowing up to be the whole group itself. So it's one of those borderline subgroups. Yeah, just wanted to have this discussion. I have other discussions I want to have, but I feel like that one went pretty well after we warmed up and stuff.
It's
So
better than the first discussion.
it was, truly. Got a bunch of questions to look at. Yeah, let's check out. Let's exercise. Math workout. All right. So this is actually problem 26. This was some problem in the book. I don't know what it was. So we've got A and B are in the group G. The order of B is 4. I know that I better check this out. I better reread the problem because I don't quite understand what I wrote there. Yeah, if A to the N equals B, so we have A to the N equals B, what is A inverse? So it's a puzzle. Let's spend some time doing this stuff, because this is really what makes us better and stronger, doing these things. Not just listening to me ramble on about some theorem. Make sure we're all on the same page. What does the order of B equal 4 mean?
B to the 4th equals E.
Yay! Yes! Hear the birds singing. This light has started to crack across the the realm. So b to the fourth equals e. Beautiful. It's a little like how I did physics, right? You just got some facts and you start trying to combine them in different ways to get something, anything. That's not how you do it though, right, Trinity? Sometimes? Sometimes, yeah. What kind of stuff are you guys trying?
A whole bunch of garbage.
That's okay, that's okay. Yeah, like, but what kind of garbage? I'm just curious, like, what routes we're headed down, like. I mean, is there a way you could combine this? These are the only two things you know, so let's play physics. How do I combine these two things? Yeah, right, like, let's raise this to the fourth power, why not? Because that's really the only anchor we have. This is like solid, so if I go a to the n to the fourth equals b to the fourth, oh, what does that equal? E, cool, so what do I do with those exponents? Yes, thank you, yay, cool. Okay, cool, what are we trying to find? The inverse of a. So we're trying to solve a times something equals e. What could be that something, knowing this? How can I manipulate this to look like that? If I said I've got a to the 30th, how about this, even worse? A to the 31st equals e. A times what equals e? A to the 30th. So, what goes in that box? Hell yeah. That's A inverse. So A. I know it's, and that's the thing that's about algebra. Sometimes this stuff is just so close, and you think it's so much deeper. And that's why I wanted to do these problems, because you can do this stuff. You just, I think, be a little more confident in like some of the things you know already. Try, just give it a try. It's just fucking paper and pencil, right? And the worst thing is, I did it wrong and I scratch it out. All right.
And you do the best on the whiteboard.
They are pretty nice to have at home. Yeah. Oh God, I wish I could just buy you each one. I guess I could. I wish I would do that. I wonder if the math department, I don't know. Maybe we should give each math major a whiteboard. Like we're talking about giving each math major a MAA membership. We should give everyone a whiteboard. Would you use it?
I would absolutely
I have
use it.
mine that I didn't steal from Dr. Gray, but he just didn't take them back.
I didn't
I
steal
remember-
it.
Oh, I gave it back, I remember that.
I did not give it back, because he asked for it back,
She goes, I didn't steal it.
so I still have mine.
You have one. Okay, awesome.
It's just a little.
Let's see what I can do. See if I can see what I can pull some strings. Might know a few people in the math department. So G's a group. Oops. Yeah, right? Yeah. Define Z of G. So that's not integer. It's the German for it's like Zenter or something like that. It stands for center.
Oh.
I remember reading about that. So this is equal to the center of G. And the center of G is the set of all A in G such that AX equals XA for every X in G. What's a neater way to say that? So there's a lot of stuff there. What can we say that with some terminology in a sentence, like an intuitive way? What is the center? So intuitively, it equals the collection, I'm not going to finish this, of all elements in G that what's a fancy word for this property? Right here. You're in the right realm, but that's not the right property. That's associated commutative, indeed. Yes. So it's the collection of all elements in G that commute
I was thinking the same thing, I was like, it's fine.
with every element of G. The collection of all elements in G that commute with every element in G. If you have an abelian group, the center is the whole group. If you don't, then that starts to narrow down. Let's prove this is a subgroup. Prove the center of a group G is a subgroup of G. How do I prove something's a subgroup? A test. Subgroup test, yeah. Let's do this, let's do the two-step. Cool. Cool. So proof. Use the two-step subgroup test. So I need to show two things. What?
Defining element.
Oh, say that again.
We need the defining property.
Yes. What is the defining property? Yeah, nice. So defining property. Let's write this. It helps to kind of write this out, I feel like. So we would say B is an element of the center of G if and only if. And then write this? Yeah. If and only if BZ equals ZB for all, wow, I got that Z in there. Oh, well, what the hell for all Z and G?
Sure.
Easy, I like that. This looks nice, sounds nice. Cool, so that's my defining property. So what two things do I need to show using that defining property?
Closure versus.
Oh man, this is great, this is great. Maybe I'll just start calling everybody a little bit before class starts, and we'll start like, I'll chat on the way in, like while I'm driving in. Because we're doing great now, so we need to show closure and inverses. So.
I would.
Oh, that's clever, yeah. And you'd still be asleep.
I don't turn my phone volume on, so I definitely wouldn't hear it.
Block Dr. T. I blocked some scammer the other day. I got this text and it's like, "Hi friend, it's Lena, how are you?" And I was like, I said, "Fuck off, scammer." And then he said, "I will kill your mother," or something like that. And I was like, I said, "Dude, you are so bad at this that like you obviously are a scammer." He's like, something about like, "I will bring cocoons to each of your family." And I was like, "Cocoons, block." This is so stupid. I love those shows like on YouTube, the people who get scammers and like mess with them. Do you ever watch those? Yeah, I've got
I saw a TikTok of the other day that the lady pretended to be like a news reporter, like a news anchor, and she got onto the phone with the scammer and like acted like she was on the air, and the guy really was like,
Oh, nice, nice.
She had the voice and everything.
I think I know that. I think I've seen that lady. Yeah. So let's show closure. What do I need to do? How do I start the closure part? So I'm requiring more and more of you each round we do this. What are we gonna assume? Take. We're gonna take what? Yeah, beauty. Yeah, let's do it. So could we maybe stick with A and B just because I got the
Sure,
Z in there and
sure.
the X, and thank you.
But that's it, exactly. A and B in the center of G. So, what does that mean? Then I write out what that means. So, AX equals XA, and BX equals XB for all X in the group. Awesome, we got commutativity all around with those two elements. What do I need to show? Let's just write it out so that we have a goal. What do I need to show? We're trying to show closure, right? So take this. We need to show that what is in Z of G. What does it mean to be closed? A times B. You need to show the product is in there. Yes, solid. And that would mean, let's just write it out as like a goal here. That would mean that AB, and I'm going to use parentheses and treat that like a whole element, equals X, AB for all X, G. So that's really where we need to go. How could we get there? We have these two things. This is what we know. This is where we need to go. How do I Let's just take one of them. Yeah, let's get a freaking B in the game, right? Did you say on the right, Kyle? Yeah. So let's right multiply by B. Sweet. Now we got A, B on that side, so that's really cool. Part the way there, like half the way there. how do I get this A to the other side of that X?
Just erase the X. Just do it, but one part, yes, agreed, that is correct. That is how I physically do it, correct, sir. But why can I do that? Why can't I just move that over? Cause I can, because it literally says it right above, right? So I can just freaking do it again. So, so this is X A B equals X. Oh wait, I went the wrong way. Oh, actually, I've got to get the, I need to get the B over, right? Because I already had that, so I need to move the B to the left. That's when I'll use that one. So A, B, X, I can transpose those two. X, A, B, and then now I can associate. Let's actually put the reasons here for your notes so that if you look back at this. So this is since A is in Z of G, that's true. This is right multiply by B. This is, what did I do here? Oh yeah, XB equals BX because B is in the center of the group, so it commutes. This is associativity. And that's all she wrote. Thus, and this is for all X and Z of G, in X and G. Thus, AB is in the center of G. Prove the. And then, so let's see, we showed closure, so we got closure. Okay, let's do the inverse together. Sick indeed. All right, so I'm gonna let you maybe do this one. So now inverses. You're gonna take A in the center. You need to show that A inverse is in the center. So if A commutes with everything, why does A inverse also commute with everything? This, I would take this and just play with it. Get an A inverse in there. Mess around. The only thing you can't, well, no, you can do it. Beautiful. No, it's great. It looks good.
I totally, no problems with legibility.
That's it.
I've only had a couple teachers complain about how small my handwriting is.
I have double vision and I still can read it. That's not the kind of handwriting. I'll try to find a sample of, so that you don't ever feel bad again, because trust me, that is not even close to the worst I've seen. Oh yeah, I've got one at home. I'll bring that one in. I won't tell whose it is. I think that he graduated. He was a great guy, really, really good. Put so much effort into his work, but I couldn't read a fucking thing either. I would just like look for the math parts. It was like, when you do a PhD, back in the day when you did a PhD, you had to do it in a language. You had to sit down in a room and prove you could translate an article from another language in a mathematical article. And so I did German, and I didn't know how to read German really at all, but I could read math and I could figure out the context of what they were saying. So that's how I read his work. Wow, your stuff is solid, Kyle. Kyle, tell me how to do this, please.
I left multiplied by A inverse.
And let's actually put both your steps in one, because I really like it. So Kyle, left multiply by A inverse. What if we did two things at once? What was the second thing you did?
Right multiplied by A inverse.
Indeed. Nicely done. Yeah, and this is no better than what you've done, but we could do it.
It's faster.
It's a little faster. So then I could reassociate. Isn't that pretty? Boom, right? E. Nicely done, Kyle. So A inverse commutes with X, and X is an arbitrary element. This is for all X and G. So A inverse is in the center. Are you seeing some themes today, like about how to approach these problems?
Yes.
A little more bold and trusting, like just try it, right? Like looking at what you wanted. Like we had this, we knew we needed an A inverse in there, so freaking throw an A inverse in and see what happens. And I think that's what Kyle did. He just like started out with a left multiply. So Kyle had this, and then it was like, okay, I need an A inverse, so I guess I'll put an A inverse in. And then notice that, oh, that got me an A inverse. How do I get another, oh, wait.
Yeah, you need your A on the right side.
Yes, thank you, yeah. How do I get rid of that? Oh, with an A inverse on the right. So he did it in 2 steps and knocked it out. So don't be afraid to try, definitely try. You know, just be a little bolder. All right, what is it? We got 5 till. Do you want to take like 5 to just look at the homework problems, or you just want to call it a day? I think I see what that means. But we could look at them if you want. I'll stay here with anybody who just wants to look at them so they're in your head. Sure. Okay, thanks. Why not? Let's just at least, so we can say we started. We read them. And that's actually starting.
Can I look at the previous homework with you?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so,
Sorry. Yes.
I have things and stuff written down.
Okay, so I pretty much kind of did this today, just a little bit ago. Took this equation, how did I peel off A's from the left side? What happens if you multiply by A inverse on the left hand side?
So what is the left side become? What's the new exponent?
Add these.
Is, yeah. Cool. So, what if I keep doing that? What if I multiply by A inverse again? Let's try it again. So now left multiply by A inverse. Mhm. Cool. Are you seeing a pattern? Look for a pattern.
So up here it's n minus 1 and not a to the negative 1. And then here it's a to the negative, or a n minus 2.
Yeah. How many times can I multiply on the left by A? How many times do I need to multiply by A inverse on the left to get it down to E? Can you see it's headed down to E? So we're decreasing the exponent. So like A to the fifth, A to the fourth, A cubed, A squared, A2, A1, A to the 0 is E. So how many A inverses do I need to multiply by on the left of the original equation to get E on the left? How many A's do I have to strip off to get down to A to the 0? Yeah. So if I left multiply by A to the negative n, what do I have? Do you see? Yeah, let's try this.
And go on that one.
Mhm.
Right, okay.
Mhm. Yeah. So then what's the left side become?
The 0,
Mhm.
and then a to the negative n.
Mhm. And what's A to the 0?
E.
Yep. So now, what did you do? You actually, this is actually A to the negative 1 n times. So let's write that. So E equals, in parentheses, we'll need some parentheses, yeah.
A to the negative 1 n times.
Mhm. So what does that say about the order of A to the negative 1?
It's n.
Mhm. What do I need to show here? What was I trying to show? It was that if this is true, then the order of that must be the same. And I just showed that. So let's go through this together. If I assume that the order of this side is n, then I know A to the n equals E. Then I left multiply both sides by A to the negative n. I get E equals A to the negative n. And A to the negative n is just A to the negative 1 to the n. You see? Yeah, yeah?
Alright.
Does that sound good?
That
Okay,
does.
yeah.
And then I.
Add some language to that too
What
before you get
words,
into it.
yeah.
Yes, thank you.
What words.
Good, words and stuff, beautiful.
Number 9.
Okay, what have you tried here?
So I used what it gave me.
Good,
I have
good.
information and stuff.
Perfect.
But like, I don't have 6, 8.
So this should be, those aren't commas.
No,
Those are-
yeah, and I
Okay,
rewrote
okay,
it,
good,
so,
good,
yeah.
good. So what would this inverse, look, what it mean? Do you have a piece of scrap? I don't, is this good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, okay. So, check it out. So we've got A to the 4th, B, is that C to the negative second? Yes, C to the negative second, B to the 4th. And I want to find the thing that I have to multiply by. This will be the inverse to get, oh wait, no, sorry, that's actually not what we want to do here, sorry, that's not the problem. So we've got A to the 4th, C to the negative second, and B to the 4th. And it says write without using negative exponents. And all I know are the things you've written out is that A to the 6th is equal to E, and B to the 7th is equal to E.
And this is all to the negative first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Isn't there one other relation, can we just check really quick? I feel like kinda need to know one other.
Oh, it is the inverse, son of a gun. Yes, Sydney, sorry. It was, my original, I didn't read that. We do want the inverse of the damn thing. So, coming back again.
Here we go.
Here we go again. A to the fourth, C to the negative second, B to the fourth. I want the thing that I can multiply by to get E. This will be the inverse right here.
Okay, so I'm finding the inverse.
We're trying to find the inverse. So let's think about how these things are gonna combine. The first thing is I'm gonna need something that undoes B, right? So this first thing here is gonna interact with B. Yeah, so we know that B to the seventh equals E. So if I have B to the fourth, what do I have to multiply by to get B to the seventh? B, there you go. So B cubed goes there. And then those will collapse, and then, do you see how that's gonna work? What do I need to put here to get? So way up, when these collapse, what will I need times C to the negative second?
But you don't know anything about what.
We don't, but that's already a negative exponent. All I want is the positive exponent, right? So C to the negative second times what is E? That would be C squared.
C to the sixth.
That would be C to the fourth.
What am I trying to get here?
C to the zero.
Oh.
And then A to the fourth times what gives me?
A squared.
You see?
Okay.
There you go. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah? Cool. Write that all up for me. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Beautiful.
Sick.
Beautiful.
Are you gonna, what time do you leave?
You can just, could you just scan it, pop it to me, and then maybe drop the copy in my box and I'll be, yeah. So don't rush. Just like by the end of the day would be great.
I can do that.
I'd rather have you take the time and make it pretty and, yeah.
Words and stuff.
Words and stuff. Yeah. Words and stuff. So, Monday, cannot wait to discuss the new homework.
Because we will do it.
Because you will start before Monday.
But you already got a head start, Kyle, you already started.
Yeah, I already finished 17.
Dude, I'm so
Did
proud
you?
of you.
Yeah. Nice. Good job. Thank you. Bye. Thanks, friends. Have a good weekend.
Goodbye, friends. And you.
So I'm curious what Michael Buzz's office hours are.
Oh, let me.
And if you've actually got any contact with him.